GM. What a week, man. What a week.
Jesus, what a week. Yeah. I mean, we were saying it was going to go parabolic, but that was literal parabolic. And I mean, of course, the casino is what brought all the eyes on. But it's a massive net positive for the space.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
So what happened, like timeline wise?
yeah.
I think the first time we talked about X402 was
Oh
like
yeah,
4 weeks ago,
yeah. Maybe 4 weeks ago when we had that chat. Yeah, and
three and a half weeks ago, something like
three.
that.
Yeah, I mean, but we've both been hacking and trying to find you know, uh, a market adoption for a while. Um,
Yes.
and So, yeah, I mean, it's been a month since we spoke. It's been 6 months since it's been out. And here we go.
So yeah, I did a Twitter space like 3 weeks ago, and like
Yeah.
50 people showed up. We're doing
Hmm.
one tomorrow, and we have like 300 people pending already.
Oh, nice.
Um, so yeah, what happened? We launched the X42 scan, the thing you're seeing on the screen right now. I think 2 weeks ago, and we had like 50K transactions,
Mm,
and 90% of them were like Coinbase Intech tests or something.
mm,
They
mm,
weren't really transactions.
mm,
And volume was like 3K or something. I
mm.
don't even remember. And now we're at 1.1 million transaction and 1.2 million in
I
volume,
know. Crazy.
which is insane.
Yeah. I.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah.
what happened? Okay, so 2 weeks ago we launched the scan. Then I don't know, like 4 days later, 5 days later, this thing happened. Someone launched a token.
Ping. Ping.
They called Ping,
Yeah. I remember
and
seeing
you.
ping, and I was confused what it was. I was like, oh, it's a meme coin. Um, but to my detriment, I kind of ignored it.
Yeah. So this basically was an X402
Uh,
kind of mint mechanism,
uh,
right? You hit the
uh,
resource, you get some ping,
yeah.
and this totally blew up.
Yeah.
It took us down. It took X402 scan down for a while.
Yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
took the it took the CDP API down for a while. So we had some hectic nights. Um, since then, we kind of revamped our architecture, so hopefully that shouldn't happen anymore.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you look at Twitter right now, everyone is talking about X402,
Yeah, it's
which
literally everywhere. Um, yeah, I think it's. I mean, it was a matter of time, to be honest. Like, it was just a. I think the scan brought a way to understand it that is familiar but new, because everyone's been used to block explorers. Everybody that's using X402 right now is are crypto native people. It hasn't really branched out to the meat space just yet, but it will. But I think it was the that's your stats. Um, um, I think it was just the scan brought the level of visibility and the level of kind of understanding of like how it can work to the space, which I think is was absolutely key to the parabolic growth, because it was immediate somewhere where people could see what was going on rather than just confined to some developers' heads. So yeah, well done.
yes. So yeah, some crazy stats right there. We have
Yeah.
1.4 million page views
Wow.
in the last 7 days.
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy.
so yeah, we have some eyes on X402 now for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but do you think in general it's good to have that? Because a lot of it is obviously
Yeah.
meme coin
Yeah. It's mostly
farming, blah,
just
blah,
yeah. I mean, I'd say that let's let's call it out here in terms of like like I think that like the major transactional volume is meme coin volume right now.
blah.
I mean that's just what it is. Um, and but that's not going to be all the case. That's just what it is right now, and people have found a unique way to transfer value around, through HTTP. So, but I think that you know there's going to be craziness. Um, but I think the long tail here is like, I mean, you can see it now with agents using some of the resources that exist. So this is just going to accelerate the adoption of people building the resources, which will then accelerate the adoption of agents using those resources in this like flywheel of growth. And but I'd say in 6 months' time, like the major transactional volume won't be meme coins. It'll be it'll be agents transacting with one another. It'll be machine to machine, not humans to machine. Because mostly, actually, most of these transactions are basically just humans clicking a button, and for $1 or $10, and they're getting some tokens. But I think the majority of transactions in 6 months will be agent to agent, and that's actually way more transactional potential as well in terms of just like raw transactional volume that will happen because you don't just have a human and an agent communicating. You have humans and agents, then agents and agents, and often maybe sometimes in a in an agent flow or when an agent asks or when a human asks an agent, that agent might go and like query 10 or 20 different resources to get the answer, which that's 20 different transactions in one human call. So yeah, but then it's like the thing that the thing that gets me, and I've always thought about this for the longest time, and one of the reasons why I got into crypto initially was like from microtransactions back in like 2014, like reading the
Mm.
Ethereum white paper. Because there was the guys, I don't know if people remember, some people, most the Ethereum OGs will remember the DAO hack in like 2016. And a bunch of those guys were building, I think it was the product was called like Slocket or something, or Socket. And it was basically like a little microcontroller on a door that you could go and like pay a microtransaction to, and it would open the door. And so it's basically exactly what people are playing with right now, but it was using just raw Ethereum transactions. Um, Showing us that Ethereum didn't scale to that level of like oh well, it scaled, but it didn't scale economically to allow for microtransactions. Um, it's taken 10 years to do it. And so,
Mm.
what we're seeing now is like we're seeing the emergence of this payment rails in just pure crypto. But like this, I see this. This is going to this is going to branch into the meat space and every physical location because it's like the simple fact is, let's just say you have a merchant, right? So let's say your local coffee shop, your local cafe is doing $1 million in revenue, through their cafe shop. Right now, they have a deal with Square or their bank, and for their payment processing, and they're being charged 1 to 2%. Maybe if they're lucky, they're slightly below 1%, but mostly around 1 to 2%, plus a 10-20 cent transaction fee on everything. And so that adds up to say 3% of their entire gross revenue. And so that's like 30%, $30,000 a year out of their million revenue is being sent to the bank. Um, and like, but then you actually take their net profit, which might be like 150K a year or something, and then you take the 30,000. Suddenly you're paying 15 to 20% of your entire net profit to the bank because of that simple payment mechanism the banks have a monopoly on. But like if you put x402 in the meat space, and you allow people to pay with stable coins through the HTTP, well, then the transactional fee will drop to like, a fraction of a percent over the year. It might not be zero, but it's going to drop from, 3% down to, let's say 0.03%, and so suddenly you're saving 30K a year just by using this. And so like and this is why like Stripe and like, this is why everyone's trying to build these stablecoin payment rails, because it's not just for crypto kind of natives, it's for literally the entire economy. Like, people are just starting to take notice. But it hasn't really happened yet at all. So yeah, that's what's always in the back of my mind is like, we're fooling around doing tech demos and doing these like crazy little things, but like, there's literally the entire economy to put into this type of payment system.
Yeah.
And that's like the long tail of like, that's trillion. That's the 30 trillion number that A16Z put out that they got to, right? Yeah, yeah,
That's a big number. That's a
It's a
big
big
number.
number. It's a very big number. Um,
Yes.
yeah, but good stuff.
But yeah, you're right. It truly enables like the initial microtransaction vision that
Hmm.
we never
Yeah,
had really before, right?
yeah,
Like even you do transaction on base, it's still, transaction fee, which is still there, right? You
yeah.
cannot do it a million
Exactly.
times
Yeah,
and
yeah,
um so for sure. But yeah, going back to agents, we also, I don't know if you played around with this yet.
yeah, yeah. Have a
We're
look. Have a look. There's the
yeah,
there's
we launched
it
a
says it.
composer,
Yeah.
a playground for building agents. So for example, if we do the daydream one, financial market, I don't know.
Ask what
What
the
is
yeah coin.
the price of the at the moment?
Yeah.
And it has access to all the x402 resources. This one has the financial agent, so it pays this API 3 cents and gets back, hopefully, the ETH price. So results succeeded, and the current ETH price is 4071, which
Mm.
I think is kind of accurate.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
it's I think like any of these endpoints, they're not going to be. I mean, it's like Ethereum. It's going to be within a a range. Uh, of what it is because of all the different markets. But yeah, I mean that's like that little agent that I made yesterday. Took me 20 minutes with the Daydreams agent kit, which was pretty sick. And then I just dropped it into the scan as a resource, and it can now compose with all the other resources there to create something that's more valuable than just itself. So yeah, and I think going back into it, I think the like the agent stuff here is like once I think we need to work out like I think some of the big things that I'm kind of thinking about is like how do we lower the latency of these tool calls, and like how do we surface um like how do we make like a ranking system basically of these agents, and so humans and agents can trust that the information that they're going to pay for is the information that they get. And I think that's kind of probably going to be one of the most difficult challenges that we do is like organizing that in a kind of a semantic way that is easily understandable by agents. And then and if we can manage that, and then we can just let the free market just decide what's best and what's not, and just like that's what's going to drive the innovation.
Yeah, it's a reputation problem, right? So
Yeah.
what's your current best take on how to solve that?
So I mean everything is pretty raw right now. Everything is just in JSON. Um, uh, I mean I'm kind of working on a ranking system at the moment actually. I think well I mean I think there's a bunch of different metrics that we need to take into account. So like we need to take into account like the latency. I mean, to be honest, it's similar to Google's PageRank in terms of ranking. And well, I'll get to A004 in a second, but like that's kind of A004. I think like creates like the schema for it, but then it doesn't solve the discovery problem still because you need to when you have a billion A004 agents, you know how do you get the right result in a sub-second query? I think that's a question that I'm trying to solve. But I think 8004 brings like the standardization of like the trust of like okay, you can define your agent and you can gain trust metrics this way and you put them on chain, but then we still need to figure out how to index them and rank them. And it kind of it defines the schema and the data type, but it doesn't solve the um, discovery in a sense. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
guys, how to build a billion agents.
Yeah, okay. Well, like a billion, yeah, billion. So like you take a billion JSONs, right? So that's a that's a lot of JSONs of the that's probably going to be 20 billion lines. I don't know how much data that is, but there's gonna have to be some ranking system and some incredibly fast infra. And it's basically Google for ranking. Um, you know, so
Hmm.
that's And it's all. I mean, the other problem is, I mean, you can see this when you kind of build an agent with MCP. You can't give it, 400 tools because like it's not good at deciphering what it should be using. So it's actually an agent design problem as well. So I don't know where we do that, where we um, push the like kind of search and trust actually to an agent as well, where like I'm going to trust that if I ask that agent to give me something, it's going to give me back the best resources that it thinks it can do, that it thinks I should use. So
Yeah, maybe quick
yeah,
shout out to Ryan from the Merit team. He made the shirt generator, which is my favorite X402 endpoint or resource so far. It
nice.
costs you a 20 bucks and it generates a t-shirt that you can order,
That's amazing.
which is pretty cool. I would do it right now, but I don't have 20 bucks in my X402 scan wallet. But yeah, it works,
Can you
and
customize the church? What is it? Let's do one.
yeah, yeah,
I'll send you $20. And
it's
then
okay. Send me some more. Wait one sec. Yeah.
send you the account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on Twitter. Let's do it. Um, I actually haven't used it myself, so this is gonna be interesting. Um, so it's basically
We're doing it live.
create a shirt for me, and you basically put in a prompt, and it's gonna create an image, which is gonna put on the shirt, and then you can order it. What subject or theme? Interesting. What should I? You know the Forge format Shafu meme? You know that meme? I have a special way of formatting Solidity code. So I have this Forge format meme. Put the following
You've been coming out with some
text
bangers.
on the shirt, and the prompt is Forge format Shafu. Let's see. Let's see what it. Great. I'll create a shirt design. To create a shirt, I would need an image generation tool. Once I generate, okay, so we need an
Sent.
image, image generation tool. Um, you should have the image generation tool now. Let's see. You're right. Let me generate. Okay. Generate image. Damn, am I missing a tool here? Image. Uh, Echo
We're
router image generation. I think that's a tool. That's a tool. I need the echo router. Use the echo router. Echo router is also merit product for developers to create AI apps. Let me use the echo router to generate. Could you provide the echo router endpoint?
or it's yeah, it's we're running into the problem that we just talked about. There's also a daydreams router as well. I think
Echo.
there's a yeah.
I'm missing a tool, I think. Echo router. Echo router dot merit dot system. Let's
You
give it
could
one
probably
more try.
you could drop you could drop the full
I don't have actual.
yeah, it's I don't think it's getting the schema.
Yeah, it's not getting it. Oh, sad, sad. Okay, next time we're gonna order a shirt.
Live
I don't know what
demos, man, live demos, they hate people.
I think
Yeah,
I'm
they
missing
try.
something stupid here, but this is when you try things for the first time on stream.
You could try
But that,
try the
yeah,
daydreams endpoint. See if you find it. We'll see. There's the image gen.
daydreams,
Yeah, image generation. Oh,
daydreams, image gen.
yeah, that one. And say use Seedream. Yeah, use Seedream. I think this is a good example of like, you know, of like just like composability
Oh,
across,
found it,
um,
found it.
like I think this is a good example of just like a free market. Yeah, so you're gonna have to use Dream because it doesn't just do it straight away. You can choose the model. Um, use Dream. It should do it.
Should pick up separate wallet server. Oh, I see. This should be on my server wallet. Uh, hmm. Yeah, it's not picking up the 20 USDC server wallet peers. What is my wallet address? Because we're using CDP server wallets here, but it should be
Maybe Claude's having a hard time.
yeah, it's not picking up. But whatever. That's you get the idea. You get the idea. You
Yeah,
get the idea.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, what
We're
else are
we're
you
we're on the
excited?
edge here. We're on the edge here. We're pushing on the button of the frontier of design.
That's
Um,
true. That's
yeah.
what else, Lof? What are you excited about? What's something that someone else built where you're like, oh, this is actually pretty awesome.
I think there's a guy on Twitter. I think his handle is Abin Abinv builds. And he's building a microcontroller that's operatable by. He just posted something about it actually. I'll send you the link. Um,
Yes, I mean,
send you the link. It's sick. It's uh like yeah he's
send me a link. I will check it out. Bing.
yeah.
Put it in the Twitter.
Yeah. So he's just dropped um a microcontroller a dev kit with an app that allows you to basically do the meat space x402 kind of payments. And so he's got all the toolkit set up for that. And I think he's and we're gonna try to do a demo where an agent calls the endpoint and like a physical thing happens in the real world, which is pretty sick. So this is like a foundational like hardware and design for the rest of the economy, right? We're all thinking about just the machine to machine, but like this is what merchants could essentially replace banks with, this type of setup. Or you could you could create um, you could create an Uber like system or a bank renting system, a bike renting system with this,
So
all peer to yeah.
explain what is happening in this video.
Um, okay, so
Uh,
he's got his iPhone app, or it's a he's got his mobile app, and he is sending he's sending a request to the microcontroller, and on the microcontroller is running a little server that's consuming the request, settling the payment, and then operating the hardware device. So that switch that you see could be that could open a door into an apartment. It could open a bike lock. It could be a payment gate on something. It could literally be anything in the real world that you operate on. So this is using this is like yeah this guy may have just created the first physical use case of X402 that's then going to permeate through the whole economy. So yeah, and yeah, I want to see this everywhere. I mean, the banks have had a good run. Like we gotta and like, but like the mer like I just you want the mer I want the the small business owners and people building these little that people building in the real world to stop getting reamed by the banks, because they just have a total monopoly. And this is exactly the reason why crypto exists, for exactly this reason, is like cut out
Mm.
the middleman and go peer to peer and be more efficient. So whenever that's happened in history, it's been a massive change. So cut out middlemen, and economy innovates. Okay, the economy flourishes.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Another thing we did is we open sourced everything. So the scan is open source and the syncer as well. Anyone can come in and add a new facilitator to the syncer. We're gonna unify this, so it's gonna be one mono repo. Right now, you would need to edit the scan repo and the
Yeah.
sync repo. But in order to add a new facilitator, you just go in here and edit this facilitator array,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. So if you have
Yeah.
anyone watching this, if you have facilitator, make a
Yeah.
PR and I will then.
Yeah. Yeah, the facilitator is an interesting bit of tech that we should talk about, actually. Talking about, we've talked about x402 and, what it can do. And then I know you posted a video a couple of weeks ago that's done some numbers that kind of explains the setup. But like, in a transaction, you have the seller, the buyer, and then you have the facilitator. And the seller's, sending a request to the buyer saying, I approve you to spend, whatever the amount is, 10 cents. And then the seller is then forwarding that to the facilitator in a sense. And then the facilitator is settling the transaction. So someone is paying the gas in the transaction, which is the facilitator. But ironically, where we're at right now, and I think Coinbase facilitator just went down. I think we're at a point where facilitators actually are the single point of failure in this whole architecture. And so
Mm,
another big challenge that we need to solve is like, how do we massively increase the number of facilitators? Because like we're doing this is tiny numbers comparable to where it's going to be. Like this is a fraction of what it will be, and so we need to be able to handle millions of transactions a day. And I don't think any single facilitator should probably be handling that. So we need to figure out a way to massively accelerate kind of people building facilitators, and so they're just like the transactions never fail. And then one of the problems with like the kind of system right now, if you build a complex kind of agent like that's calling a bunch of different services, like if one of them fails, often like your flow breaks and like has to retry, and and that's because a facilitator might like maybe a transaction fails for some reason, maybe RPC goes down somewhere. There's a lot of different moving parts, so we need to like try to make that more robust. And I think that's going to be through like maybe even a facilitator router type thing where like it routes to like just if one fails, it gets another one.
mm.
So yeah, because it's or maybe yeah, it's the single point of failure right now in the whole architecture. Um,
I like the idea of a facilitator router.
yeah,
That's uh, that's it.
yeah, yeah,
That's it. You know
yeah.
why the coin facilitator went down?
Oh, I ran out of
Because
gas. Yeah,
yeah, they ran out of ETH.
yeah. But I mean that's like yeah, but there's still there's still edge cases when things like break. I think obviously it'll get more robust over time, and the whole system will get more robust. But yeah, it's still a bit flaky. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
No, 100%.
yeah,
Yeah, it's early, once we professionalize this a little bit,
yeah.
I think
It's
the
early, yeah.
facilities should
Yeah,
be
I
all
mean,
right.
the last couple of days have been a solid stress, and as facilitators have handled it well. But I think once we kind of get into more like agentic flows that are like, because like in an agent system, it might be calling 10 different things to get a result. So those 10 different things, like they can't really fail. Otherwise, it has to like, otherwise the agent system, unless it's designed, um, it's expecting things to kind of resolve, and it has to self-correct itself, which a lot of agent systems don't really do that. So,
Mm.
yeah,
Maybe maybe you have a fee split or something where instead of
Yeah.
paying the x402 resource, you pay on top, which is basically the gas. So the
Yeah.
facilitator doesn't
Yeah.
need to sponsor gas, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. But I think the funny thing about all of this is that like it's basically a paymaster, like with account abstraction, but like it's just allowing people to pay with like it's doing a similar thing. It's just kind of it's just transactions through HTTP. But like it's doing the same thing a paymaster does. So just sponsoring transactions, but it's just in another way. Um,
Mm.
it's yeah,
Still
yeah,
early, man, still early, but that's what's exciting, you know?
yeah,
Um, yeah, facilitators, I don't know. It seems like it's not the it's not the bottleneck right now. It's the supply. It's like give me valuable resources for me or my agent to actually do something useful
yeah,
through X402, which is not only meme coin launch pads. And some people reached out. It's gonna happen. You're gonna have X402 launch pads.
yeah, no,
For,
yeah,
for, for
yeah, yeah,
some reason, I think it's just a worse way of doing a launch pad or but whatever.
yeah,
It's
yeah. It's just
it's,
that
it's
everybody
yeah
loves a new trend. Um, yeah. Well, I
yeah.
mean, one of the things that I just shipped, we just shipped is the agent kit, which allows you to spin up an agent in a second, like 20 minutes. And then you can just drop it into scan, and then it's exposed to the entire network, or it just gets picked up by the bazaar. So that's we're trying to do our bit to just kind of lower the barrier so we get a lot more useful resources. And I mean the goal, I'm just going to try and onboard people onto that and try to get people to pop as many small, concise agents as possible that do great things.
Mm.
And I think that's the yeah, so that's how we get to like very useful, X402 powered agents is having we need useful resources. Like we need resources that people are willing to pay money for, other than just a token. Because the meme coins you're buying a token, right? But like we need endpoints that people and agents are willing to pay for. Um, so yeah, that's the. But there's so many things that I think people will pay for. Well, agents will want to pay for, which the easiest ones are just like data ingestion and financial earnings and anything around finance, anything around data or macro or prediction markets. There's millions of endpoints that could be made, and everyone, it's that these endpoints are kind of like in themselves self-contained business units. So each one that you make, you can measure their P&L and you can see how effective they are. And so instead of trying to create like one monolithic agent that does like, everything, I think the approach that people should be taking is like, okay, let's create 10 different endpoints that do one thing very well, and then release those endpoints into the market and the distribution through the X402 ecosystem. And then those agents can be measured on like how well they're performing. And so you just do that 10 times, and you have 10 different agents, and you can see their exact P&L. That's another. That's a thing that we made a couple months ago called Baseface, where you can yeah, it didn't really get any traction. We should have done a meme coin back then. But yeah, that was like one of the early. I think that was like one of the first video gens on the image gens on the base app. It's still there. You could play around with it. But we we didn't make it to the casino. Um.
That's it. I
Yeah.
haven't
So
seen I haven't seen that one.
yeah. Yeah. Everyone should just go and be Brian. Just go and make yourself bald. Um. Just yeah. Did you see someone came out with a drug that yeah. um. Did you see someone came out with a drug that's like reverses balding? And
No.
Mert from Solana was a bit annoyed. Um. Yeah. He had a good shit post on it. Um.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the possibilities are endless, I guess. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Um, where does this or where will this go to in like 6 months? Is it
Yeah.
is it just
Oh,
gonna is it gonna be fat or it's gonna be sticky or
this is
what
going to
do
be
you think?
sticky. This is sticky. This is going to be one of the stickiest things of adoption because it's so easy to adopt. It adds value, and like the infrastructure is already there. Like most of the time in crypto, when something new comes out, it's like it gets released as a white paper or something, and then takes years to build. This is like literally like everything that you interact with is sending an HTTP request. Like anything that you do on your computer now that's connected to the internet is sending the request that the X402 can handle, that can kind of ride on. So the rails are already there. The infra around it is kind of emerging. The ways to do things is there. So it's um I think the meme coin thing will probably have its day, and then I'd be definitely be careful about buying memes, um, because they're just like I think that goes without saying. But I think it's going to stay, and we'll see every agent framework adopt it, and we'll see some incredibly valuable agents emerge that use it and that are generating real revenue. Uh, like you think about like if you come up with an endpoint, say let's just say you're like a macro expert or like you're a hedge fund analyst or something, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go and create a macro agent with all my data sources because I already have all these data sources available. Like I already like this is what I'm doing in my day job, and then I'm gonna turn it into an endpoint that I'm gonna charge $10 a request for, and it's gonna be cached every 30 minutes. Now that endpoint, like if that endpoint is valuable and that it's giving some insight around the market that then traders can use to make their trades, then that endpoint is going to get called furiously until someone
Hmm.
else comes along and makes something better. And so there's millions of those types of endpoints that people are willing to pay for. And now you can aggregate all your data sources and make these tight little businesses. And that endpoint is its own app that you can track its P&L because you can track like how much you're costing an inference to make that data, and then you can see your incoming from everybody calling it. And that's what I really want to see, and I think that's the long tail here. And then those things are like those endpoints, like that macro agent, is then immediately callable on across GPT, on like ChatGPT and Claude, and anywhere people are interacting with chat apps, chat agents. And so it's just like that's the long tail. And there's a billion people that use those things right now, and there's probably only like less than 100,000 people that have the MCP installed. Probably actually there's probably like less than 10,000 right now. That's but that I mean ChatGPT. I reckon OpenAI and Anthropic are going to like build that payment system into the chat app. That's like the equivalent of Apple releasing the App Store to X402, and that's just a matter of time before they do that. They definitely will. So yeah, and so when that happens, then suddenly you have a billion people that have access to all these paid resources, and then you have all your agents daily. And there's so many financial analysts that use ChatGPT to like research things and find things, and now they can plug all that in, and they're going to be willing to pay money for their services. So yeah, it's a huge unlock. Um,
Agreed. So you think
yeah,
the 30 trillion is realistic?
I think that's was that like indirect and direct? Yeah. So
Yeah.
um, like if this gets, let's say you replaced Visa and Mastercard tomorrow with this, what's that total value? I mean, that's more than 30 trillion. So in 5 years time, if we get I don't know what that number is, but like in 5 years time, we will have, I mean, that's a long time. I mean, 5 years ago, I mean, that was like what, 2020. Oh, that was during COVID, wasn't it? I mean, that was a long time ago. Like 5 years from now, like I mean, the rate of adoption is just going to go parabolic. Um, oh yeah, man. I'll ask the agent. What's that's a good. That's a good. I wonder if it knows that. Um,
Let's see. Let's see.
yeah. Uh, but I mean, if it can take like 10% of that of like across the entire economy, that's probably 30 trillion. I don't know what the no, is it the U.S. economy is 30 trillion approximately, and I think China is about 25 trillion maybe, and then the rest of the world is like 25 trillion. So
Hmm.
I think so. It's like maybe 100 trillion in total GDP. Um, and maybe that's the next question to ask. So
Yeah.
I guess the X402 needs to take what 30% of it. Uh, but it won't just be X402 though. There's also Stripe are coming out with their own like version of it. I forgot what it's called, but like it's basically the same.
Hmm.
So it's going to be a battle of like adoption. And so actually like if I was buying stocks right now, I would. I mean, Stripe's private. I mean, but like I think Coinbase is going to be the next $1 trillion bank, for sure. The rate that they're going because they're trying to own all these rails of like this agent future, and they're doing a good job at it. So
So the total addressable market of X402 is the global economy.
that's it. It literally is. It's the global economy. It's like however you transact anything. Yeah, it's
Very
literally the global
bullish.
economy.
Very bullish, love. Very bullish.
Very bullish, yeah. And that's not a
Uh,
that's I mean we could turn that into a meme, but like it's not we're not even it's not just moon math. That's I think that's like that's that's the truth.
that's a great meme. That's a great
Yeah.
meme, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening here. It's stuck for some reason, but
Maybe someone's I mean your site's basically getting DDoSed right now from everyone trying to hit it. Maybe it's just you know just scale up that infra.
yeah, yeah. Damn,
Yeah.
we're trying our best, man. We're trying our
Yeah, I know you're
best.
doing a great job. Great job. I mean,
Very hectic
gigascaling.
weekend.
Yeah.
Scaling
Yeah.
this up, we rewrote all the how we index stuff through the sinker. Um, but yeah, still some things to do. We didn't
I,
expect this,
yeah.
obviously.
What
We
indexing
didn't.
are you using? Is it a
Great question, man. Let's look at the code. Let's do this.
I
Screen.
haven't had a chance to look, but I'd be keen to look. I want to build in the Starknet version of it.
Let's do this. So this is the sinker, right? And you have chains. We have Solana and EVM for now. Solana is using BigQuery. We have two providers. We could fall back onto BigQuery, but right now we use BigQuery. And
Yeah.
we run this big query on BigQuery that basically gets all the transfer with auth for all the facilitators we
Yeah.
have,
Yeah.
or in this case, the Solana facilitator.
Yeah.
So in order to support a new chain, you would need, if it's not EVM or Solana,
Yeah.
you would need a data source, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you'd need
Yeah.
BigQuery.
Yeah.
BigQuery, obviously CDP doesn't have that. But yeah,
Yeah.
once you have that, it's pretty easy to, you basically need a query file, you need a config file, and that's it.
Yeah. So it's starting at the sink. It's starting at the sink, writing the config, writing the sinker, and and mapping it to the existing types.
Exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is Solana for EVM. If we look at base, we also have BigQuery to fall back onto, but right now we use
Yeah.
CDP for base.
Where's the
It's
bottleneck you guys are hitting on the indexing?
we actually the indexing is fine.
Okay.
The indexing is fine. The problem is people are spamming the resources and stuff like that. So we have two separate databases. We have one database that is only for transfer with auth.
Mm.
So I can actually show this too. Um, let me share that as well. Bring back call, share, screen. So this is our database, and this is a combined transfer with auth table for every chain in one format. So you have the chain Solana, providers BigQuery. This is the core bits facilitator. This is the pay AI facilitator, and so on and so forth. And this is what we use to index all the transfers and show them on the scan. So that's how we do that. But we have also have another database for the actual scan itself. So for all the resources, for the agents and stuff like that. And this is where we currently have some problems, which will be fixing as we speak, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Keep going. I need to get in, start contributing more. I just
for sure, man, for sure. Yeah, we'd
need to
love to.
send
We
some.
also have some bounties open. If someone's out there want to contribute and earn some money at the same time, uh, do some pull request on the
Yeah,
on
do
X402.
you want to just run through how you can put a bounty on GitHub?
Yeah, of course. So let's go actually share this tab instead. So it's GitHub, Merit Systems, X402 sync. So you create a new issue.
Oh, yeah,
You create a new issue. Let's take add a new chain, for example,
yeah.
and it works through the labels. So
Ah,
it
okay,
needs the merit label and the dollar amount label,
okay.
and that's it. We index it on the terminal. So if you go to the terminal,
How could I add it
terminal.
to my? Yeah, how could I add it to my repo? Oh, I need to go through Merit Systems, make an account, then add it. Then add it.
It's actually you would need to initialize your repo on merit.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And that's it. Once you do that and you
hmm
add the bounties tag on your issues
hmm
in GitHub, it shows up on Merit.
All right, I'm gonna do that today.
Awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
some open bounties on here. Someone watching
I'm
this
gonna
want.
do I'm gonna do 50 bounties for 50 different agents using
Fantastic.
daydreams. Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Um,
I gotta get that up later today. Um,
nice, nice. So yeah, we're also doing a X402 scan, X402 space on Twitter tomorrow.
yeah, I'll be
Which
there.
Love can you join this?
Yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, that's a good
Awesome,
time.
man.
It's not 2 a.m. for me. Um,
Nice, nice, nice. That's awesome. And we're also trying to organize or we actually, it's pretty much confirmed at this point, X402 meetup thingy in Buenos Aires at DEF Connect. So if someone is going, I would love to see you there as well. Um, but that's pretty much it, man. What a week. What a
what a
week.
week! What a week! Yeah, man,
Insane.
big week. I think this week's gonna be even bigger. Uh, yeah. Uh,
Um, so yeah, where are we at? Let me screenshot this for next time. So all
let's
time,
yeah, we should do let's do this again. We'll do an X402 roundup pod.
for sure, sure.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, Loaf, thanks for joining me. This was a lot of fun. Let's do another one very soon.
Yeah,
And
man, good
let's
to
keep
chat.
shipping. Let's keep shipping. Let's keep
Keep
shipping.
shipping. Keep shipping, man. All right. Catch you later.
Man,
Bye-bye.
thanks for tuning in, guys. Bye bye.
Bye bye.